Keith Urban reached out to me and invited me down to Nashville to write and record something for his album. So now I've got other people who are like, hey, Keith told me about you, we should get in and write. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna move to Nashville.
I hesitated moving to Nashville because I was like, I don't know country music. People were wonderfully supportive.
I moved here to be a singer-songwriter like everybody else. My parents were like, you have to wait until you have a job with your degree to move to Nashville. I went over there one time and I was like, I have to be here.
In today's new economy, young professionals aren't just clocking in. They're hustling, dreaming, and transforming industries city by city. We went across the country to find out how they're making it work, all in pursuit of an American paycheck.
Hey, Sean, in terms of like making this time productive, I was thinking it could be worth visiting the vocal on cracks. I mean, music is one of those careers that really demands all of your time and energy and attention if you want to be able to do it at the highest level. Okay, cool. Let me jump in on that. While I was in college, I was recording a song every day. After I graduated, I had written and recorded almost 2,000 songs. The songs were decent, but they weren't great. So I was like, I'm gonna get a job to support myself, but I'm gonna go to the studio every night. I'm working 20 hours a day between these two full-time jobs, music being one, and my day job being the other. I'm exhausted. And as a songwriter, you only get paid when a song comes out and performs well, and you don't really see any income from a song until 9 months later. Financially, it didn't make a dent in me trying to pay rent or be able to sustain myself. Like asking, baby, what are we? Then I ended up putting out a single as an artist, which was My Truck, and it literally became the most viral song in the world. And could it really be the one for you? One more time. Be the one for you. Coming into the top of 2020, I signed a record deal. That totally changed my circumstances. I went from trying to figure out how I was gonna be paying rent every month to I could buy a house right now. Any money that I make, for the most part, goes directly back into my business. I cover flights, lodging, and per diem for all of the members of my band and audio team when we play shows.
Please welcome Freeman!
The overhead for that and what I'm making is pretty tight. I had spent the last few years thinking that I didn't have what it takes to be an artist, and now I'm incredibly grateful to be able to create songs with all of these artists and to be able to find success.
Why don't you like lean a little bit?
Yeah, let's go.
We good with this?
I'm good with this one. Let's
Okay, let's roll music. Coming into country as an outsider, I mean, I'm an Egyptian woman. I grew up on like hip hop. I started to learn that my outside perspective was actually a positive and not a negative. I could listen to country music differently because a lot of people are like, we're in Nashville and that's it. And I'm like, there's a whole world out there. Okay, so this is my ACM award for being an on-air personality. These are some of the plaques that I've gotten from being a radio programmer and like playing the songs. As a radio host, I had built such a network in Nashville. And I was noticing that artists were coming in and they didn't really know how to tell their own story. Hello. After I left the show, I started my company called Good Cop, Bad Cop with my business partner, Robbie.
I was just talking to Lindsay. I think that's gonna come in.
Would that be distribution or creative?
I think both.
We want to help creatives tell their own stories. I left my job, started a company, and it was so tough. I mean, I couldn't pay rent. I mean, it was so difficult. I blew out my 401k and savings when I started my company. I mean, I had a great job, and I was a talent, and I made a lot of money doing that. I just had to figure it out. There was no other option. It was like, how am I gonna do this and make money? Once Breland came into the picture and he really understood the idea of why creative was important in his career, and I think that validation and that partnership was like really a big moment for us and for me to be like, I just knew that it would work. We want to represent the idea that country music is truly for everyone, and it's not exclusive, it is inclusive. And so visually, we have to make sure that we are staying true to that. That takes a lot of work. You have to go travel, you have to go experience things. That's like a business expense for me. Going to a museum or traveling to a different country or seeing a festival or whatever, it's like, that is a big piece of that.
Are you a bougie bitch?
I am a bougie bitch.
Nashville is obviously like a thriving music city. You had some people come through and say like, hey man, I can't sleep. It's you guys are making so much noise.
Yep. Hey,
There'll be people watching from the swimming pool up on top of that apartment building. There'll be people from all their balconies on this one.
Welcome to Whiskey Jam. Tonight we have an incredible lineup. As you saw already, Will Jones making his debut on the big stage.
When we started Whiskey Jam in 2011, I thought it would be a great way for me to get a songwriting deal. So I played at the beginning of every show. And getting out there and doing it, I was like, is this really what I want to do? Because I wasn't being fulfilled by playing my songs. I was having a blast getting the coolest artists to come play. It's a free show, we don't charge a cover. The artists all play for free. We depend on artists who are passionate to have their music heard. It was so well received because there wasn't anything like it going on in town. The early days, we said the slogan was the best kept secret that everybody knows. So if you were insider in Nashville, you knew about Whiskey Jam.
Whiskey Jam, how are we feeling this Thursday night?
No matter where you're from, I don't think that you could walk into a bar and see this much talent on one night for free, much less twice a week, every week, for a dozen years. It just doesn't simply happen in other markets. The music event space is not necessarily like get rich quick kind of world. We get a cut of the bar from the event dates, and then we built this merchandise brand, which has been incredible. We sell a lot of these, and then the skulls and these. Those have been able to kind of keep us going through the years. As it's grown, it's been great, but I couldn't support my family on it alone. I've been able to do it because I was bartending at the same time. At this point, I have a job working with Apple Music. I have a radio show every afternoon, so kind of supplementing each other, but I'm not doing this to buy things and have things. And if it was all about ticket sales or views and streams and clicks, I think that would suck the passion and the enjoyment and the fulfillment out of it completely.
I would say I see enough young people that move here with very few resources that are able to do it. You'll probably need a job so that you can dedicate time to music, and you'll probably need a roommate or roommates.
That's downtown, kind of the Gulch area. It's all grown up so fast, it's been crazy. Like when we started Whiskey Jam, none of the buildings that you see here existed. Nashville's great. I think it is still one of the best places to live in the nation. It has gotten crazy over the last decade or so as far as affordability. The city is growing faster than the industry. You cannot live in this town for $30,000 a year.
We want to build something really special in Nashville. I understand that budget is a real integral part of, an artist's career, especially up-and-coming artists. A big part of this for me, because I am a creative, is helping creatives have equitable work.
I'm incredibly grateful. I've got a new community of people here who understand what it is that I'm trying to do as an artist. We all have our influences and our years of experience, and we're able to come together and bring all of those influences to make something totally new.
That was pretty dope. Let's get one more though.
Yep.